I just want to set the record straight. G'day. I wanted to point out something to people that regularly follow my videos. As you know, I do a variety of content, some of which though has always been when I find things that work for me personally on a medical level. Now, please never confuse me as someone that thinks that there's no place for medicine, modern medicine, Western medicine in our world, because I don't believe that. And I wanted to get that straight. What I find myself, I will make videos about if it's something substantial, like I've made rosacea, fluoride, colloidal silver topics, and revisited those a few times now. But don't think that I am one of these, I hate to say the word, tinfoil hat wearers that think only alternative medicine works. I don't. I do believe modern medicine has a definite place, and some of you would know that probably 3, or is it getting towards 4 years ago, I was actually in hospital for nearly a month, 2 weeks of those in a coma, as both lungs had shut down due to a virus. So, I absolutely say without a shadow of a doubt, were it not for modern medicine, I would not be here making this little story for you now. I guarantee you that. By the time the virus had taken hold of me, yes, I had been on Western medicine. The doctor put me on for a couple of months. I just kept getting worse. And by the time I realised something was really bad, yes, I was starting on the colloidal silver. Okay, I believe colloidal silver is a great thing, but make no mistake about it, when it comes to needing a serious, hard-hitting impact, certain antibiotics and medicines, they're just like mega powerful compared to some of the more natural alternatives. So I had to say that up front. I was just thinking about this morning and actually thinking, well, not sure if I want to make a video about anything in particular, but then I thought, well, I'll record this for posterity. Those of you interested can watch. My main point is always go by informed choice. I'm a big believer of that. Do your own research, and I think I said it best in the documentary I was part of last year. Just because someone in power tells you that it is so, whether it's your doctor or otherwise, do your own research. You have to advocate for yourself these days about everything. You know, if I tell you, don't believe me, go and find it. Oh, he's right. Well, no, it's bullshit. Find out for yourself so you're comfortable with the truth of it. You know, at the end of the day, it's you that have to live in this world. So as I said, do your own research on things, but don't take anyone's word for it. Don't take mine, don't take theirs, don't take his. Now, look, I can give you examples aside from the medical aspect too, where the word of mouth can and can't be a powerful thing. We all know it can, but it can also work the other way too. And I'm reminded of this when I was speaking to my sister on the phone last night about a place that when I go and visit her, we always go to this little fish and chip takeaway shop, and they have beautiful fish, really nice, good value, good meal. They changed owners probably a year ago, and somehow the word got to her that the product was now rubbish and it wasn't worth going to. And so we kind of thought, oh, what a shame, it was a really nice place. Now, we did go back there and went, well, no, it hasn't changed, it's still good. But here's the thing, as I was saying to my sister, now, in particularly, my mum, rest in peace, her elderly set, usually it only takes one person to say something bad about something, and typically they won't go and try for themselves. So that's where it can be very damaging. I'm digressing a lot, but I hope you get the point I'm trying to make. The thing I wanted to say about the body too is that, look, yes, our bodies can repair an awful lot of themselves, and you know, we are pretty well self-regulating. A fine example is even blood pressure. You know, do you take the blood pressure of an animal? No, you don't. Do you give certain medicines to animals that are living out in the wild? No, you don't. But I'm guessing that because they don't have any form of intervention on the medical side of things, well, they probably do die prematurely of certain ailments and cancers. The point I'm trying to make is make your own decisions on things, do your own research, don't trust everything you find online, and by the same token, don't necessarily believe everything that your doctor, or even a specialist, may tell you. Decide for yourself. And there's so many things I wanted to combine into this one little video, and it's a bit hard for me to recall them, but I don't think most general practitioners, doctors, the guys you go to see when you're sick, I don't think most of them are on a corrupt level. Of course, any big corporation like the pharmaceutical companies, yes, of course there's corruption and everything. That's a given. Okay, at the end of the day, they're not a benevolent society. They're not a volunteer organisation. They're there to make money. Of course, they have to have a product that's at least marketed as being sensational in order to sell the product. And yes, there would be corruption down the line. But I believe, and I certainly hope this is true, most doctors that we go and see personally, if there are alternatives, and I know in many cases there are, and I know for myself I stopped taking medications when I found them, they probably aren't aware of it because in their field it's probably not really, with all the other info that comes across their desk, you know, monthly or whatever, they probably just don't have time to research into alternatives that are out there, and they are taught from the get-go, usually, that this and this is the procedure for treating whatever ailment or condition. So I don't blame the doctors. It's pleasing when you find one that will openly admit, like my current GP of long term now, even said to me the other day, chatting about something, we don't know how this works, but we know it works. And that's true, I understand, of many medicines. They may not know how it works. Yes, there are usually some form of side effect with every medication. What you have to work out wisely, if you can, is are you prepared to take the risk of a very minor, usually possible side effect versus a stronger possible outcome? Look, I know when it comes to the body repairing itself, when my mum had a stroke, she lost the use of, I think it was the right arm. Lost it totally, no longer functioned. And that was the thing that really taught me the miracle of the power of how our system works instinctively. Over time, over months, like what happens in a stroke, without me going into any details, I'm not a doctor. Okay, what happens basically, you get a pathway is interrupted and that's it. So that pathway of neurons basically disconnected the use of that arm. Now in time, her brain miraculously somehow remapped a pathway to that arm, and she started to use it again. So look, it's a powerful, powerful thing. But I have to say, and I'm sorry for skipping backwards and forwards, I'm not going on any notes here, just what I was thinking before. You know, even, it's not good to drink fluoride in your water, I believe. Maybe in the older days when fluoride was actually fluoride, they say it was good for your teeth, but you definitely weren't meant to drink it. Having said that, and even though I've pointed out in videos all the residual muck when you distill your own water like I do sometimes, yes, the fluoride in that, it can't be good to drink. But now here's where it all falls down in part. I've got a couple of elderly mates, one in particular I was talking about. Now he's pushing 70. He is healthy as a mallee ball, and no doubt watching this video. But here's what he said to me recently. Now, he spent all of his life, yes, he has lived in different parts of the world, mostly large cities, and fluoride was introduced many years ago. He lives in Brisbane, where we do have fluoride in the water still, unfortunately. He drinks it every day, as he said, and look, by all accounts, he's totally healthy, healthier than me. So, I mean, yeah, what do? You have to make your own choices in life. You have to take control of your own body. At the end of the day, make your own choices. With regards to colloidal silver, I'm a big believer in it. I have found it gets rid of the horrible rosacea that I get. I don't get a horrible rosacea, I'm saying the ailment is horrible. I have found in recent years when I have got it, and I've never had it all my life until recently, yes, making up a certain solution of it, and I will make a separate short video about this in the near future, does help. I got rid of it in a week, whereas the first time after I saw a specialist, I took the tablets for months, 3 or 4 months, didn't get rid of it. So in some instances it can work. And why I'm mentioning colloidal silver, at the end of the day it's not a natural alternative, it's just an alternative. Colloidal silver is not a natural alternative, it is an alternative. It is in fact acting as an antibiotic. Now, we know it's not good to take antibiotics every day, and I for one, I know people that do, but I just wouldn't. I would not take colloidal silver, drink colloidal silver every day. I will take it when I get sick, which isn't very often, and usually it tends to knock a cold or flu on the head before it really takes hold. But it's an antibiotic, so I wouldn't take it every day. Certainly, like medicinal antibiotics from the doctor, you take them for a set period until you're well, and then just a little bit longer. I usually take it 3 or 4 days after I'm better. So don't think of every alternative treatment as being natural, because it's not. Just the same way as Western medicines, in almost all cases that I can think of, they originally stemmed from things in nature. It's just to make them en masse, to sell them, they're synthesised, and of course I don't believe it's as healthy as, getting it from nature. But the point is, it all stemmed from somewhere, and that's the frustrating part when you encounter people that talk about any alternatives as being, tinfoil hat stuff. It's not. All medicine is based from something. Okay. I hope I've managed to get my point across. Be open-minded about all things. My advice is to do what I try and do and think holistically about things. Won't even go to spiritual levels about how the mind, the way you think, can influence your own health, because I know that part works as well, if you apply it and if you know how to apply it. So just thought I'd make this little video. If you're still watching, thanks for joining me. And if you have any questions, just drop me a line down below in the comments section. Alright, thanks for that, and have a fantastic day. See ya. I forgot to mention that I'm not a lover of pain, so even though painkillers are bad for your liver long term, you better believe that if I've got a bad headache or I'm in pain for some reason, I will take a Panadol. Life's all about moderation.